This is a crappie fishing report on Lake of the Ozarks, Upper Osage crappie fishing report on Lake of the Ozarks by Joe's Lake Ozark Guide Service. Right today it's March 2nd, 2017. The lake is down 6 feet from normal. Winter pool. Water temperature right now in the mornings is around low 40s, 43 degrees, getting up to around 50 in the afternoon. Normally this time of year, most of the crappie we would catch would be out towards the main lake or just inside the points in the first dock or two or brush pile or two, just inside the points. But because we've had this warm and seasonably warm winter, we are catching more crappie further back in the coves than normal. Most of the fish we're catching further back in the coves are smaller, and the bigger crappie are still out closer to the deep waters. So if you're looking for some of those bigger fish, you want to fish those brush piles more out towards those deeper points, just inside the deeper points in these creeks and coves. Not really shooting docks a whole lot right now. I'm fishing brush piles, lay down logs and stuff like that, and basically I'm just vertically jigging right over the top of the brush. As far as colors, the water's pretty dirty in the Upper Osage area right now. You can see maybe 8 inches to a foot, 6 inches at times when we get a windy day and it stirs up the water. So I'm using a lure that has a lot of chartreuse. Black and chartreuse, straight chartreuse, red and chartreuse. Something that has chartreuse is just going to show up. And on the most of the time I'll use a 16th ounce jig head. If I'm fishing a little bit deeper of a brush pile, or if it gets pretty windy and I want to fish that brush pile where the wind's blowing in, then I'll go to more of an 1/8 ounce jig head. But mostly what I'm doing, I'm not really casting and reeling. I'm just sitting over top the brush pile and just vertically jigging. Now, as we get some of these unseasonably warm days like we've been, then we can move further back into the coves and creeks or into these shallow pockets where we think these crappie are going to spawn. And where they're going to spawn is some of these sandy, gravelly areas. When you get into fishing those areas, you can just cast and retrieve your bait as it comes through. I like to put a cork about a foot, foot and a half above my jig head and just be able to just reel it real slow and stop it, pull it and stop it. And that kind of gives the crappie, if they're up in that shallow water, just more time to look at it. As far as type of crappie lures you can use, there's 100 types out there. Tubes are good, twister tails are good, slab slayer by Bobby Garland baits, those are always good. Basically what I do is I'm going to be vertically jigging over something. I'm going to use more of a tube lure or a lure like the Bobby Garland slab slayer, or some kind of a minnow imitating type lure. If I'm going to be fishing more horizontal, where I'm casting with the jig underneath the cork and reeling it, then I'm going to use more of a twister tail that has more of a fin swimming action. That's what I'm going to do. So that's your crappie report. That's what's going on right now. Here we are at the beginning of March. If we keep having this unseasonably warm weather, I think we may have a crappie spawn occur usually a little bit earlier than we normally would. Most of the time we're looking around mid-April when the dogwood blooms. Right now a cold front has come through, so it's kind of slowed things down. But I think if we keep getting this unseasonably warm weather, we could have a crappie spawn starting a week or two earlier than normal. So good luck in your fishing. I'll try to do another report here in a couple, 3 weeks. Thank you.